it's Kayla back again with more bad fanfiction theater, and we still have a guest.
Hi, I'm Hawkeye.
He's back. Apparently, he didn't learn his lesson from last time.
What's that?
That you let Caleb talk you into reading shitty fanfiction. That's gonna scar you for the rest of your life.
Oh, no, I didn't learn that. You're correct.
So, this time, we decided that we are still wanting a lot of pain from this particular top 10 list provided to us from Fanfiction Fridays by Topless Robot, um, to be reading another Pokemon story. This time, number 8 on the list of worst fanfiction ever. So, I tried my best to find a copy of this without Fanfiction Friday's commentary on it. I cannot. The only copy I can find of May and Buster, the Teddy Ursa, in adopting a cute bear cub is basically what Fanfiction Friday makes fun of. So I will be linking to the site itself. So after you're done listening to us, you can read what they had to say about this story. Basically, for anybody who's might get confused while following along, the actual story itself is in yellow boxes, and I am presuming that this is the entire story in these yellow boxes. I cannot confirm that because I cannot find, as close as I possibly could, an original copy. Let's see, I believe you started first last time, Hawk.
That's correct.
Okay, so I shall start first. So, we will be reading a Pokemon story from the worst fanfiction ever top 10 list, the same list as Star Turds and that Pokemon piece of crap we read earlier.
That was a thing.
A story called May and Buster the Teddy Ursa in Adopting a Cute Bear Cub. If you want to follow along, there is a link below. It will be in the yellow boxes. It was a sunny day at the orphanage for young Pokemon, because there exists such a thing. A lady was walking towards the door, and she entered the building, closing the door behind her as she walked in with a grin.
Oh, I'm used to the paragraphs being longer. My bad.
It's okay.
The lady appeared to be 18 years old. She had long blonde hair and violet eyes. She wore a purple shirt with lettering on the front that read, "I love life," in pink letters, blue jeans, and sporty tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes? Okay.
Wow. Her height was 5 feet and 5 inches tall. She spotted a man in the room. The man appeared to be 30 years old with short brown hair and green eyes. He was 6 feet tall and wore a blue suited uniform. The man quickly...
Sorry, go ahead and finish, and I'll commentate.
The man quickly noticed the girl and smiled.
You know, what does it matter exactly what they're wearing and exactly what their height is and their exact age?
Well, at least they're putting in some attention to detail. It's just I get the sneaking suspicion that attention is going to fall off once they get to the sex scenes.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Richard Kennedy, head of the orphanage for Pokemon. Are you here to adopt a Pokemon as your child? Asked Richard professionally. Well, we know who he is because he stated who he is. So you didn't really need to have that there at the end, but okay.
I'm May Summers. We spoke on the phone, said May with a chuckle.
May held out her hand to shake Richard's. Shouldn't there be an apostrophe there? But anyway, he extended his hand and grabbed hers, shaking it as every other friendly handshake was supposed to be like. This is harkening back to Star Turds. This is strangely similar to Star Turds, and that's scaring the shit out of me.
So to speak.
Yes. Not literal shit just yet. Just figurative shit.
Hopefully, yeah.
They let go of their hands, and Richard led May down the hallway.
Richard came across a room that he and May just stopped right in front of. Wow, that was an awkward sentence.
Yeah.
The room was filled with young Pokemon. Some appeared to be preteens or barely teenagers.
How do you know that? It's Pokemon!
You know, you said that right before I had the opportunity to. So, yeah, that's a thing. The rest of them were little kids appearing to be 10 and younger.
You don't know that! They're
Yeah,
Pokemon!
May was thrilled at the sight of all the cute little Pokemon in the room, a warm smile on her face.
Choose anyone you like, May, said Richard softly.
May looked around the room. She wanted to choose the cutest one out of the bunch. A cute Charmander was spotted playing with some friends of his, but she was still looking. A Pikachu was spotted laughing at a Bulbasaur who was making silly noises. May turned her head to face Richard.
Which one is the youngest? Asked May, feeling undecided.
The youngest one we have here is 8 years old, said Richard, pointing out to the youngest one.
May turned to look at the youngest one and was overflowed with adoration. The youngest Pokemon she saw was a cute Teddiursa. The Teddiursa was spotted sitting all alone. He was by himself near the couch with a curious expression on his face. The Teddiursa was about 2 feet and 4 inches tall. His head reached May's lower thigh. Why am I reading your part?
I don't know. It's like a single line, though, so... That Teddiursa is a boy. His name is Buster, said Richard with a grim look.
We found Buster wandering around outside by himself. We found out his mother was killed in a forest fire when he was a baby. He's been with us since age 4, said Richard quietly.
So, okay, his mother... How did they find out that his mother was killed in a forest fire when he was a baby when they only met him when he was 4?
Maybe Teddiursa told them through Teddiursa speech.
Okay, that makes about as much sense as anything.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. After hearing the story about Buster's past, she made her decision. May wanted to adopt Buster the Teddiursa. The little bear cub raised his what? And notice... Actually, don't answer that.
Well, first it's called a wee-wee.
Okay, I'm sure we'll find out.
And then a pee-pee.
No one ever calls it what it really is. Have you noticed that?
No, never. I guess they think it's clever if they call it something else, because I can't use dick again, and I've already used penis. What else can I use? I know! Man fruit thing!
Man fruit. And of course, we'd only arouse Peachan's ire if we used the word meat.
Yes. Man meat. Slap some of that salami. Oh, Hoshito, I wish you were here. You would have loved to have heard that and been so angry at me.
One day we'll all do this together. The little bear cub raised his and noticed May looking at him with a motherly smile. He blushed deep pink. Well, that's awkward, considering he's probably covered completely in brown fur.
Yeah, like, how could you... Anyway. Hey, Buster, could you come over here, please? Asked Richard politely.
Oh, shucks, I lost my place. Oh. Buster hopped off the couch and ran towards Richard. He reached the spot where May was standing at and waited for Richard to say something, an adorable grin on his face. May bent down and grabbed Buster by the waist, lifting him up into her loving arms as she hugged him.
Richard, this pretty girl is hugging me. I kinda like it. Who is she? Asked Buster in his childlike voice.
If he knows how to talk...
Is he like Meowth?
I guess? But... I mean, if he can speak English, that would actually explain how they know, what happened with his mom. So
Yeah, but then
that,
the question becomes, where did he learn English? Because Meowth learned it from a book, and because he lived like above a school thing.
yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, trying to make sense of this again.
uh,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
uh, the sound of Buster's voice was childlike and sounded like he's chuckling with every word he said. May kissed him on the cheek, making Buster smile, and his adorable dark eyes sparkle. He giggled cutely.
Guess what, Buster? You're getting adopted today. The lady here is May. She's going to be your mama, said Richard eagerly.
A cute grin spread across Buster's face. He leaned his head on May's big chest. Her boobs were big and soft, feeling like a pillow to him. Buster hugged her back, nuzzling his head with a giggle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Because that's exactly what boobs are for.
Exactly. Yeah, didn't you know?
Ah, yay, I get a mommy, said Buster eagerly.
May was happy as a puppy play fetch. Wow. Okay, May was happy as a puppy play fetch. She smiled and gave Buster a gentle ear rub. The feeling of his ear being rubbed by such gentle hands was relaxing. He giggled adorably and enjoyed the feeling.
That feels good, Mama, murmured Buster gently.
How far to our home, Mama? Asked Buster curiously.
It's not that far from here. You're gonna love your new home, said May in a cute tone.
Wow. She walked the whole way towards her house while she carried Buster in her arms. He felt excited to have a new home and a mother to care for him. Buster suddenly caught sight of May's big breast. Her big breast.
She only has one?
One of the two is big. Her boobs were really big, probably larger than usual. Okay, have you ever actually seen a picture of May? Her boobs
No.
are not that big. She's got like maybe a B cup. Anyway, just as if I'm trying to make sense of things again. I need,
Yeah.
need to stop.
I need to smack that logic out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that your soul shattering out here?
No, my soul is quite a bit stronger than that. This is just it is merely my brain. He blushed a deeper shade of pink with a smile. He laid his head on them to rest his head. That's not redundant or anything.
Yeah. Why would a little kid notice boobs?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
unless you know that milk comes from them and you are interested in having a sip, a kid should not care about boobs, especially his mother's boobs.
yeah.
Mommy, what is love? Asked Buster adorably.
Oh dear.
That's a sudden question.
Love is when you care about someone really much. When you
Really
love
much.
yes, when you love someone, you want to do anything for the one you love. I love you, which is why I chose to adopt you. That's an example, said May, explaining it all to him.
Not exactly, but okay. Buster managed to understand he managed. So his cute little kid like mind easily whatever. Buster managed to understand every word May said, even the meaning of her explanation to love. May grinned and nuzzled her head against his cheek, making him giggle even more. Buster smiled happily. He seemed to love being loved by May. Her loving nature made him feel safe and happy. Overusing love a lot.
Yeah, overly using love, giggle, and yeah, chuckle.
Mm.
Just very wordy. That tickles, Mommy, giggled Buster in his cute voice.
Oh, you're ticklish, said May playfully.
You're ticklish. My ticklish what? May began to move her hand down to Buster's stomach. She start to gently tickle him, playfully giggling as he squirmed from being tickled by his human mother. His laugh was cute and adorable, so was his smile.
Ha 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 ha! Mommy, you're making my belly all tickly, laughed Buster happily.
Who wants a kiss from Mommy? Said May, giggling.
I do, laughed Buster.
May stopped tickling Buster and planted a kiss on his lips. Wow. Her lips were planted on his. Redundant again.
Mm-hmm.
Buster wanted to fight it off. Wait, he did? But quickly gave in, feeling mesmerized by his first kiss. They held the kiss, and every second that kiss was passed by was heaven to Buster. He couldn't get enough of his first kiss. May finally pulled away and smiled, giving him a lovable hug.
That's my good boy, said May in a cute voice. 'Cause that wasn't creepy at all.
Not at all. They came to a stop. Both of them arrived at the entrance to May's town, smiles lighting up their faces as May walked toward the direction of her home. Buster saw each house they passed by. The neighborhood was beautiful. Each house had a beautiful garden or a beautiful-looking home. So each house had a beautiful garden or a beautiful-looking home. So some of these houses have homes in
Yes,
them.
each of these houses have houses.
Huh. Interesting. The sight of the neighborhood only made Buster smile excitedly.
Where's your house, Mommy? Asked Buster curiously.
Right here, answered May, pointing to the house she stopped in front of.
The house May and Buster stood in front of was a beautiful brick house. She walked towards the door and went inside, closing the door behind her as she made her way to the couch and plopped on top of it, hugging Buster closely to her and nuzzling his head.
Welcome to your home, my little cuddly bear, said May in a cute tone of voice.
Buster felt safe and secure in his new home. His new mother began to stroke his belly gently, making him murr in a relaxed tone. May just wanted to snuggle her adopted bear cub all day. She couldn't get enough of how cute he is. She suddenly started to feel some heat building up in her body, making her feel hot.
What?
Yeah, I already knew how this was gonna go, and I'm just like, okay, here we go.
It's like, can you say ham-fisted?
And suddenly, she's turned on by how cute he is, and furry, and soft.
Is it hot in here to you? Asked May.
I feel fine, said Buster as he felt no body heat rising up.
May started to remove her shirt. After she removed it, her big boobs were exposed. Her breast size was 106 centimeters, cup size double D to E or larger.
I don't think
What?
that's how that works.
No, seriously, has this person ever seen
No.
May? Ever? No. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone in my life with natural E breasts, let alone this teenage girl.
I haven't, but I've seen the bra for them, and I'm just like, good Lord Almighty, the size of the boobs those would have to be.
Buster was now completely mesmerized at the size of May's massive-sized boobs.
Wait, at the size of them. Not at the sight, but at the size.
At the size, yes, because that's completely something that, he would have any reference of. He blushed with a curious expression.
Wow, said Buster, amazed.
Wow, what? Asked May when she realized what Buster meant.
It was the size of May's breast.
Again, just one breast.
She just has one giant boob.
Yes.
She's like Draco and Harry from My Immortal.
Oh, God.
You'll have to listen to that when we.
I do need to at some point, yeah.
Oh man. Let's see. At May's breast, that caught Buster's full attention. May smiled playfully at him. She knew what he meant by what he said just now. She knew that her boob somehow hypnotized him enough to make him stare. To make him a stare at them without looking away for a second. Because he's a step that you stand
Yes,
on.
it made him stare, because as we all know, stares are the true enemy.
Mm.
I see you noticed my milk junkies, said May in a
You're
sexy...
seriously just... And that's your new son. Okay, I think we had this conversation earlier. You can repetitively say boobs, tits, dick, and penis. It is okay. You don't have to make up other words for them.
Milk junkies. What?
Well, I guess it's better than milk duds.
But only marginally.
Is it my turn again? I kind of forgot.
Yes.
Okay. Buster nodded his head. The sight of her boobs would hypnotize any man nearby, but you're a kid, we established. May wiggled her chest, and they bounced, making Buster's head stare. Yeah, because his head is a stare too now at them, and he moved his head in the direction of where they moved, when suddenly a hardening feeling grew inside of him. Now his hardening feeling stopped as May stared, because she's a stare now too, at his 6 inches long shaft. It's a little kid bear!
Oh my god.
The sight of his cock was making May turned on. She smiled playfully at Buster. Buster looked up at May. He was curious in what would happen next. Well?
Recap. May is about 18 and the bear is about 8. Oh god.
So...
Just why? How? What? I see my little cub is excited. I can fix that, said May playfully. I just wish we could fix this story.
Yeah, right off a cliff. Oh, I'm okay with Shota and Lolicon, but this is just creepy.
It makes no sense.
That too.
It's like, an 8-year-old, and the story describes the Pokemon as if they age similar to a human, because, it went into big detail about, how old the Pokemon were.
Yeah.
An 8-year-old isn't going to be feeling any kind of those urges yet. They're not going to respond in that manner. They're not going to be curious about boobs in that kind of way. So it's like, it's just really forced. And again,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm wasting time
okay.
by trying to make sense of it.
It's okay.
I'm okay with, wasting time normally, just not wasting time trying to make sense out of this.
Yeah. May laid Buster on the couch, sitting next to her. She leaned her head down and suddenly wrapped her mouth around his entire length. Her mouth engulfed his whole shaft as she started sucking him off. Buster moaned in pleasure. He never felt anything like this before, sending shockwaves of pleasure through his little body.
So, within just a few minutes of this, May becomes not only a whore, but poke-incestuous as well.
Yes.
I just coined a new phrase.
Yes.
Okay, Mommy, your mouth is tickling my wee-wee, moaned Buster as he felt his lower body tingle with pleasure.
Buster was feeling turned on by he experienced his first blowjob. He giggled cutely as May licked the underside of his cock, which made Buster giggle even more. Small amounts of heat builded up in his balls. He moaned in pleasured tone as May's tongue tickled his shaft, tension slowly building up in his balls.
Oh, Mommy, my body feels all tingly, moaned Buster, now showing a smile on his face.
Oh, this sounds horrible to laugh, but this story is just so outrageously stupid. All the Buster's moaning a pleasure just made May suck harder, but a little gently, making sure she won't hurt his cock. May was just licking and sucking him off, making Buster's legs become slightly stiff.
Mommy, something feels weird, but it kinda feels good, gasped Buster as the feeling of his climax started building up.
May started bobbing her head up and down as she knew that Buster's or- orgasm was getting closer. He curled his toes a little in pleasure, twitching his feet slightly as the pleasure increased. Buster was in heaven as his climax quickly builded up. He was blushing deep pink, a pleasured smile spread across his face. Since Buster is young and little, his climax from his first blowjob was building faster. He began to puck his hips as his first orgasm took control of his little body.
Mama, gonna, I'm gonna pee, moaned Buster as his lower body tingling with massive pleasure.
Oh, yes, because I know. Well, I guess he wouldn't know what was going to happen to him. So he,
Because he's only 8 years old.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
come on.
okay. Um, is it my turn again? I got lost in that. Like my brain just stopped working for a minute. I think
So
it's my turn again.
yeah, with wow,
Okay,
right after that break.
all right. Buster blasted his hot seed into May's mouth. She tasted his honey. Oh, uh-huh. Because
Uh
he's
huh.
scared. Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah, you're not funny. His honey sweet cum and swallowed it. She swallowed his load greedily until his peak subsided. Since he's since he's young, his flow didn't last long. It lasted for a minute.
Wait, what? You can't have both. His flow didn't last long, but it lasted for a minute.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever you say.
May pulled her mouth off, but Buster's shaft was still hard and ready for more. That's not. I think I heard the snapping of someone's sanity.
That was a water bottle, but it's a good metaphor. What happened, Mommy? That's sort of what I feel like asking about this whole situation.
Yeah, did I just have a really weird dream? Like, did I take too many mushrooms? What happened there?
I took the wrong medication. What happened, Mommy? Asked Buster, panting lightly, his cheeks still blushing deep pink.
You just had your first orgasm. You didn't pee in my mouth. You cummed in my mouth. When you feel that tingling feeling, you cum this white stuff called sperm. It's supposed to feel good, said May, explaining what happened. I'm totally not going to explain that what I just did was 100% wrong, and I shouldn't have been doing it.
Was illegal and immoral, like
Yes.
orgasms. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a fair statement, I
yeah.
suppose. Could we do it again? Asked Buster, smiling.
Ah. May nodded her head and started to take off her shoes and socks, placing them on the floor. Then she started to pull her pants and underwear off, exposing her wet, dripping hole. She smiled playfully at Buster. My damn word! May laid back and on the couch, giggling playfully.
I can't believe I'm about to say this.
I know.
Put your cute bear cock in my hole, said May playfully as she instructed him what to do.
Because you do this with your adopted Pokemon son. Buster walked up to May and crawled on top of her, placing his shaft all the way into her vagina. Because he would immediately know to do that, not just to stick the tip in there. Anyway, he moaned at the soft feeling of her inner wall surrounding his length.
Oh, mommy, what do I do now? Giggled Buster in pleasure. You don't. That's not. Giggling is not something you do when you're.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You go in and out. Keep doing it and don't stop, said May, moaning.
Buster did as he's told, and slowly thrusted his cock in and out of May. He moaned as he felt pleasure heat up his body like before. May's insides were squeezing his shaft. They squeezed harder and harder with each thrust from Buster. He moaned in pleasure as his whole body tingled from bliss.
Oh, Mommy, this feels good. Your body makes me feel all good inside, said Buster, moaning playfully.
Moaning playfully?
Yes.
How do you... Never mind.
I don't know.
Good try. Oh yeah, that's good, Buster. Keep going, moaned May lustfully.
Even though Buster was a virgin, he was feeling his whole body tingle with pleasure as he kept thrusting in and out of his adoptive mother. Buster was moaning as heat and tension slowly builded up in his body. He had no idea how good he's gonna feel when he blows his load hard into May.
This is tickling my body. This could be a while, moaned Buster in his cute voice.
Oh my god, this story. Okay. Oh yeah, faster, Buster. Go faster for Mommy, moaned May, placing her hand over Buster's shoulder for support. He's a little teddy bear.
Yeah, I
There's
don't...
no support there.
I was gonna say, that's probably not the best thing to be leaning on for support. At least this isn't like the last story, so she's probably not going to crush him by doing that.
Let's hope so.
Buster did as he's told and went faster, applying more pressure to his thrusts, which made May and him more horny. The sight of Buster's smile was cute. His eyes had a warm expression in them as he felt really horny inside. To him, it felt like someone was massaging the insides of his sex organs. That sounds unpleasant. He was feeling warm and tingly. May started to rub his shoulders, using her thumbs to rub his soft nipples, which tickled Buster's chest, making him moan louder.
To rub his shoulders. So he has nipples on his shoulder? Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, we won't touch that. We won't touch it at all.
May's the one doing the touching.
Yes. Buster, oh my god. How do you feel? Moaned May curiously.
Hot and wet, but in a good way, giggled Buster playfully with a moan.
The tension and heat of Buster's pleasure began to increase. He pounded his shaft into May harder, starting to thrust at rapid speed. May rubbed his hardening nipples eagerly, which are on his shoulders. The pleasurable feeling in her body was kicking in as did Buster's body. Buster was in a world of high pleasure. He kept on thrusting in and out in and out at rapid lightning speed. He thrusted as hard as he could, the both of them bucking their hips against each other.
"Mommy, I feel something is about to coming out," moaned Buster loudly.
That's good. Oh, you're wrong. You're gonna come real soon, moaned May, almost screaming in pleasure.
Massive tension was building in Buster's balls. His balls were boiling with fresh and hot Pokemon seed just screaming to come out of his little body. May arched her back, cocking her head back as she was reaching her orgasm really fast. She couldn't wait for Buster to blow his sweet load in her hot and sexy body. She held him so close to her body that Buster could only thrust in and out hard.
Oh, Buster, shoot your cum into Mommy, screamed May in pleasure.
"Moo me," screamed because there's no double M there at the end. It's moo me, screamed Buster in loud pleasured tone.
And we're skipping this yellow box because it just repeats the last two words.
It does bear repeating, I suppose.
Yes. Oh, Buster, shoot your cum into Mommy, screamed May in pleasure.
Moo me, screamed Buster in loud pleasured tone.
Okay, we got that taken care of. Buster shoved his cock all the way in May's body and came hard inside her. Her inside squeezed his shaft so hard that it wasn't long until she came hard too. Buster came along and harder than before as May's juices tickled his balls, because that's how it works. The both of them came for what felt like forever, until their orgasms came to a halt. Yes, a halt. Buster suddenly felt woozy and collapsed on top of May. His length slowly shrunk back into his tired body. As May picked him up by the waist and held him closely to her body in a hug, his head resting on her massive boobs as if they were a pillow.
I want to read this comment here. My orgasms came to a halt once, but I had a shot of penicillin and I cleared. Oh, man. About an hour or two later, Buster woke up and found himself in May's arms. She smiled at him as Buster opened his mouth wide in a big yawn. No matter what Buster did, he looked cute and adorable when he did whatever. His yawning made him look even cuter as his yawn subsided, and he showed a cute grin at his mother, hugging her back.
Might as well because we just repeated ourselves like 3 times there. So how did it feel when you were inside me and blown your load? Asked May. Her voice was still sexy.
It tickled me inside, said Buster in his cute voice.
May leaned in and planted another kiss on Buster's lips. This time they held it for a long time. It was an adorable sight for a hot teenage girl to kiss a cute bear cub on the lips. The two finally pulled their lips away, and Buster rested his head back on May's breast, her one boob.
Yes, her one breast.
Her boobs were softer than a pillow. The soft boobs made Buster feel woozy again, and he started to fall asleep.
I love you, Mama, said Buster as he closed his eyes, falling fast asleep.
Mama loves you too, honey bear. Yes, you're not clever at all. Mama loves you too, honey bear, said May cutely as she gave him a quick kiss on the forehead.
Buster looked cute when he's asleep in May's arms. She held him as if she was his birth mother. She rubbed his back gently to relax Buster in his sleep. May knew something about what happened today. She gained a lover and a son. Oh, God. She also became Buster's first love, including his mother. You just said that! May smiled as she knew now that she's a mother. She's gonna take special care of her sweet little bear cub's son.
Well, that story was special.
Wow. You know, that story that was just amusing. That wasn't
Yeah,
nearly
I'm like
bad.
that wasn't horror. Well, it was, but not like what we've read on the show.
Not like the last Pokemon story or
No,
Star Turds.
yeah. This I would say actually is the most happiest upbeat thing of rape I have ever seen in anything that we've had on this show thus far.
I know that was just I don't want to use the term adorable, but
Yes, because
it's somewhere in that area.
for what for what we've read on this show, yeah, this is actually this would be cute
That was
if it wasn't
positively
for
uplifting.
if it wasn't for the fact that she just had sex outside of her own race, which I'm not racist or anything, but I mean it's a
Outside of her own
Pokemon.
species.
Yeah, there we go. Different species, that works. Not racist, not trying to be, but unintentionally so. And a child of that species.
Yeah, what we've essentially got here is pedophilia, rape, incest, and bestiality all rolled into one.
Yeah. And strangely, I'm not angry at this story.
Yeah, well,
Just a little
it's
weird, but
compared to what we've gone through, and what I've gone through at least vicariously, having listened to Star Turds, I, I, I'm okay with this. I
yeah,
am
I
perfectly
don't have a
content.
problem with this story. There's worse out there. I don't think this should be on the
And
top
and
10
this was
list.
number 8 on the list. You said?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah, yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah.
This should definitely be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, this should be like at least number 10 of what we've read from this list so far. Star Turds, the Pokemon story of this story. There we go.
Yeah, and this is, honestly, it's how like the Pokemon stories number 1, and A Nude Hope / Star Turds was number 10.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, this one should be number 10. Star Turd should be somewhere near the top of the list, and
yeah.
Pokemon story should be right below that.
I mean, granted, I haven't had a chance to read the Tony Stark Astro Boy story yet, or Root Her, which is the Jurassic Park story,
Oh,
and I know at least Root Her is supposed to be really fucking bad, but I haven't read those yet, so I can't say.
right. I'm just afraid, the Jurassic Park story is just going to be horribly violent.
I think at the end, the way it ends, it is, because I believe that it involves explosions or something like that. Like people just exploding for some reason. I'm not sure because I haven't had a chance to read it. But everything we've read so far from this list, which I'm like, well, surely, I mean, if that's number 10, then I hate to imagine anything else on this list. But nothing that we've read so far has been as bad as Star Turds on this
Mm-mm.
list.
The last one we read, it was close,
Yeah,
to me at least. But this story was practically sunshine and roses. I mean, if you
yeah,
can overlook, I mean, it sounds horrible to say, but if you can
yeah,
overlook the taboos, no one in this story gets hurt. No one dies. There's no blood. There's no animosity. It's
yeah,
all very happy in its
yeah.
own twisted sort of way.
And technically, this could be a really good story if you just took out the fact, like the Shota in it, and the bestiality and stuff in it. This could be a legitimate fic, like a human girl adopts, a cute, adorable teddy bear Pokemon, and and you just have this warm fluffy feeling. That would be an awesome story. If I just had a shitty day and wanted some sunshine and rainbows and didn't have Hoosh Joe available to talk to, I could just open up a story like that and be like, oh, that was adorable, that made my life so much better than it was a few minutes ago. But eh,
Yeah.
You know.
It just, yeah, this story is what it is, and I mean, minus the somewhat awkward writing
Yeah.
style and the obvious taboos. It's just
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot to complain about,
Yeah.
compared to the other stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like this is such a this is such a step in the right direction, as sad as
For
that
what? Yeah.
is.
Um. Basically, my reaction to this is it's okay. It's much more okay in my opinion than the previous Pokemon story. Um. I really have nothing against this. I'm just like, okay, it exists. I'll move on and read something else.
I mean, of
I
course,
I I really wouldn't put this on a bad list. I just if I ever somebody wanted, was looking for a story or and found this and asked for my opinion, I'd be like, not really, unless you can overlook Shota and bestiality. If you're okay with that, yeah, go ahead and read it. It's not really going to be worth your time, but you're not going to hate me for it. So,
you're not gonna end the story in tears or
yeah,
throwing up.
yeah, you're just going to be like, well, I could have done something else with my time, like clean my room, but whatever. That's just really about how I feel about it. I'm just like, okay, it exists, moving on.
It's something that takes so many taboos and makes it so sickeningly saccharine sweet the whole way through. It's like, how many times, like, I want a word count. I'm not willing to actually count it, but it's like, how many times did they use the word cute? How many times did they use the word giggle?
Way too much. We're trying to do a little My Immortal here, where we're trying to um, do things in a ways that are impossible, like sexually jumped into a pensive. You can't do that. You can't jump sexually. Like that doesn't make any sense. How are you jumping sexually? You're jumping up and down. That's not sexy. Yeah, it's like that, but again, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. This story exists. I'm not offended that it's there. I have no complaints, about it, other
Yep.
than somebody could take the same concept, just leave out the sex and crap, and actually make a really nice, warm and fuzzy story.
It's true. I mean, if you left out the whole, trying to be erotic thing and just had a story about, a girl adopting a teddy bear
In
Pokemon.
fact, you could just take that whole sex and stuff out, and then she adopts him, brings him home, um, and then they go and they fall asleep on the couch. There you go. There's your story. I mean, it's really short, but hey, it was fine.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, and you could, then if you wanted, you could just take that concept and expand upon it.
Yeah.
And the whole thing would just be, you know, basically like an episode of the Pokemon anime,
Yeah.
more
Pretty
or less.
much. Maybe a slice of life for focusing on adopting a kid and raising him.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. So, in closing, not the worst thing that has ever existed on the internet. Doesn't deserve to be on this top 10 list.
I have to agree. It's I don't know whether it has to do with being desensitized by the previous two stories,
Yeah,
but it's
I've read a lot of stuff on the internet, so I'm not fazed by this in the
but
slightest.
no, this is too cute. You can look at it and say, well, it's wrong because of the cross species
Yeah,
and the age difference, but it's like if that's the best if that's the most
yeah,
you can come up with, it doesn't belong on the top 10 worst
yeah.
fan fictions on the internet
I mean,
because
yeah.
yeah, it's just not even in the same category
No, n-
as the other two stories.
no, not at all. Not at all. So, I believe that's all we have in us about about this story for now. Um, Maybe I should rethink my choice of words, but I shall not. And and I don't know what we'll be reading next time, if it'll even be from this top 10 list, but we shall be reading something. I don't know if it'll be Pokemon again or not either. So, I'm Caleb Cat,
And I'm Hawkeye Norasumis.
and this has been Bad Fanfiction Theater. Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Bye!